These are the current book projects we're working on. We have another book that should be coming out in a couple months, which is a sequel to the Monster Alphabet called The Monster Numbers. And we are continuing along with the webcomics as well.
Okay, great. Are you seeing any more librarians picking up on your
That's
work?
the neat thing. Because I'm a webcomic, I get this. I get to really cheat and figure out what's actually happening after I do a show. I get to do metrics. Google tracks them for me, and they get to track where my readers are. And I really pay a lot of attention to this, and geographically I choose where I do my shows. And I've found that I've got these clusters and hotspots of traffic wherever I've done shows previously. And then a trend started happening after I started doing ALA, is that there would be a boom in traffic that would be not centered anywhere. It would be all sorts of hotspots just nationwide. It was making me scratch my head for a little bit, the Pacific Northwest was just exploding for me, or North Dakota or Texas, and these are all areas that I've never even been near with conventions. Like I've only done like the Eastern Seaboard, a little bit of the South, and California. And those have been my general route. And I started doing some Midwest, but when I was seeing like the whole nation start to increase, and I could tie those hits to not being advertiser hits, because I could figure out if they came in from another comic, I could see that. These were just natural hits, like people were typing in hellowithcheese.com and getting the site. And it's pretty much, I'm attributing them to librarians as the main reason why we're seeing this traffic just grow, because it grows not one at a time, but clusters at a time. And that seems to be one of the really great values of, like, if you get a librarian as a fan, you're getting like 10 fans at a time, and they just slowly add over time.
So it has been a good impact then for you.
It's been an amazing impact.
Okay,
yes.
that's wonderful to hear. So we're glad you're back.
Oh, I'm glad I'm back.
Yeah.
This is my third time now in the alley. And the first couple days, it was just having librarians that had met me over the past couple of years come back. And they were talking to me about various projects. Like Monster Alphabet, we were a day away from getting it released last year. And people were so excited to see it out this year. In fact, they were talking to me about how Monster Numbers is coming out, and they're getting excited for that book. And then they were super excited when they found out that Hello with Cheese's first ever book actually came out. This was sort of a secret surprise because I didn't want a Monster Alphabet 2 situation happening, and we got it.
So that's fantastic. Okay, and I know I've probably asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Are there any new books that have come out, any new graphic novels that have come out over the last year or so that you would recommend for, say, a first-time reader?
Honestly, just last night I just read Sumo by Thien Pham, and it was an amazing story. Like, it's a nice sit down once, read it, and see the arc, and now you kind of want to go back and read it again. It's a very action-based comic story, and his use of colors to tell these three different timelines that converge into one great climax, and just to subtly cue the reader telling the story through just monotone shading instead of just words. Like, it's a very beautiful book, and it is very just well scripted out at the same time. So I was very excited to read that one.
Okay, and since you have done Monster Alphabet and you're working on Monster Numbers for children, do you have any recommendations for the younger crowd?
For the younger crowd, I'm actually, oh gosh, if you ask me that tomorrow, I'd probably have a better answer. I have been like, I am a young father myself, so I do try to look and find the new stuff that I want to read to my child there. So off the top of my head, it's Duck Goes Potty and Penguin Says Please have been some of my favorite books to read to my son, because they actually help work, and like they just telling stories that he loves to read at the same time with me. Well, he kind of reads. He knows the pictures and he is looking at the words, so just reading to him has been a delight. And it's interesting because I had been drifting away from physical books. I'd been getting really into digital reading, and I've been reading more, But then when I wanted to read to him, I really wanted to read physical books to him because that's our library now is 200 books for him to pick one off the shelf each night.